Hey guys, welcome back. So this past Friday in the morning kind of started out my day with a little PT session. So I'm in the gym and on one of the local radio stations, they had this guy Justin Willman on the air. Now if you don't know who Justin Willman is, he's a magician, but he's probably more well known for being the host of several years of Cupcake Wars. So they had Justin Willman on, and something they were talking about was a couple years ago when him and his wife got married. During their first dance, they wanted to incorporate magic into the routine somehow. So at one point, Justin dipped back and his wife was holding his head. She let go and he was levitating. So the question kind of came up, what made you get into magic? And he started going into this story about how when he was 12 years old, he was riding his bike with rollerblades on, and at one point he fell off and went to go brace himself with his arms and broke both of his arms. And he talked about how as a 12-year-old, when you don't have use of your arms, it's pretty miserable. So at some point, his doctor prescribed him something. But instead of prescribing him some sort of medication, his doctor prescribed him to play with cards. Because even though his arms were broken, he still had use of his hands. To be able to play with cards got him to kind of fixate on something else. And it was because of that moment when he was 12 years old, he got seriously into magic, and it became something that he wanted to do for the rest of his life. Now, I'm not here to promote magic in any sort of way, but I just thought that was incredible. Instead of the doctor giving him some sort of medication to maybe make him feel better or dull the pain of not being able to use his arms, the doctor prescribed him something that he could use that was tangible to change his outlook on life. You know, this really resonated with me as someone who struggles with ADD. Now, if you have ADD, you know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, when I was growing up, I wasn't just one of those kids that they just slapped ADD on my forehead so they had some sort of reason to give me medication, because that's what they do nowadays. They just look for any sort of reason that they can give kids medication to help them sit better during class. No, I was diagnosed with ADD when I was in high school, so as a kid in middle school, it was very tough for me. Through high school is extremely tough too, because I refused to take the medication that they gave me. But you're asking a kid to pay attention and sit down for 7 hours in his day when his attention span can't even hold 5 minutes. Do you not see what's wrong with that situation? The issue we have is we teach kids that you need to learn a certain way. We teach kids that you need to understand things, and you need to sit there and you need to be quiet and you need to learn how to take a test. And then when we can't teach them that, when they aren't able to accomplish those tasks, we put them in a separate class. We make them feel like they're not good enough. You know, God created us differently for a specific reason. We all have different gifts and abilities. And I think instead of focusing on just one set that all people need to fit into this mold, we need to start praising people and helping them to learn their gifts and abilities. You know, as a kid going through school with ADD, not knowing what was wrong with me, I just thought that I wasn't a good student. I just thought that I wasn't normal like the rest of the people. And it wasn't until I grew up and went to college and started to realize this isn't just something that I struggle with, this is my life. And it was at that point I was able to read up on it and learn more about it so I can figure out tools to help me learn the way that I learn best. So each and every one of us have different quirks. Every one of us have different gifts and abilities. And we need to stop saying that you're not good enough and start teaching you and all these people that these are the gifts that you have. So let's focus on how we can use those within you to get through life. The story of Justin and how we got into magic is awesome, and it's something that I think everyone needs to understand. That we're not just here to prescribe some sort of medication so you can get through life like a normal person. Let me know in the comment section, what kind of quirks do you have? What kind of things that you struggle with on a daily basis that maybe you've never learned how to cope with them? Or different things that people say you're not good enough with, even though it's just something that you've been gifted with. So let me know what you think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel so you can see any updated videos I come out with, and I'll see you next time.